All right, Shubes. The other day, I was watching a basketball game, Celtics at Miami Heat.
Mm.
On the court logo was different. It said Heat Culture. You know what Heat Culture is? Have you heard of that?
What is it?
So, Miami Heat Culture is a special thing that they have where coming down from their president, Pat Riley, who coached them also,
Yeah.
his whole thing is about accountability, that we hold everyone accountable for what they do. That if we have a job to do, we're not going to slip up on it because of not paying attention to details or slacking off or anything. We all hold each other accountable. And that's why even without the most talented players, they consistently win because of this kind of culture. Another example of that, San Antonio Spurs, which is a team that I have no love for at all, being a Mavs fan. But one thing they really believe in is a culture of no brilliant jerks, is what it's called. No brilliant jerks. Where if
Mm.
you look in an office setting or any collaborative space, there are certain people that mistreat others. They have an arrogant way of handling situations. They think they're above the rules, things like this. But because that person performs really well, or they have a good knowledge base or a great skill set, they kind of let that slide. If you're at a certain level of performance, you can get away with being a jerk because people say, oh, but he's performing well. That's not the culture in San Antonio Spurs basketball team, where for their coach, Greg Popovich, he said, I'd rather have less talented players that work together well than having a brilliant jerk who's one of the greatest players on the team.
Mm.
So that is really telling, and they have the championships to show for it.
Yeah.
So culture is huge in any setting that we go into for success.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think that reminds me of there's an author named Simon Sinek, and he talks about the Navy
Yeah.
SEALs, who are the most accomplished military organization that's out there. And they have a grid of trust versus performance. So you have people that are high trust, high performance, low trust, low performance, and it's a square, right? And they have a rule that they won't take anyone, regardless of what their performance level is, they won't take anyone of low trust. Because if you have someone who's mid performance and high trust, they will be more of an asset to the team than someone who is of high performance and low trust. If you have someone like that, they're ending up being like a narcissistic person that ends up bringing the team down because the team doesn't trust them. So I think similar to what you said, having a team that is, for the organization is a good way to put it, rather than for themselves. Building that high trust is the most important thing. Not saying you shouldn't perform, right? You have to sharpen your axe and build up to being a high performer, someone who performs well. But I think trust is key in those situations.
Definitely. So that brings up the question, what should the culture be for our teacher force here at CMDFW?
Mm,
We're not a small operation where we have about maybe 50 teachers and it's easy to get us all on the same page, just meeting a few times. We've got 200 plus teachers scattered over 3 centers in 6 sessions currently.
mm,
So this is a challenge to get everyone on the same page, not because
mm,
of lack of trying on the part of the teachers, just because we're so massive. This is a
yeah.
huge machine that we have here at CMDFW. What's that one cultural ethos to have? Now, thinking about this, one of my most beautiful conversations I've ever seen, and I've seen this conversation play out several times, is when Swami Sarveshananji would speak to prospective teachers,
Mm,
people he'd approach and he'd say, hey, I want you to teach Balvihar. And
mhm.
instantly the reaction is, no, no, I can't. I've never done this before. I've never
Yeah,
taught before. I don't know what to tell the kids. I've
exactly.
never dealt with kids. I don't know this knowledge. There's a barrage of
You're quoting me. This is
different
exactly what I
excuses.
said to him when he asked me to
I'm
teach him
quoting
word for word.
myself
Yeah,
too.
right.
I said the same thing. And so he would ask him two questions, just two
Hmm.
questions. Do you believe in this knowledge? They'd say, yes, I totally do. What our Gurudev's vision is, this knowledge, I totally believe in it. The vision of our rishis, the Shastra, everything, yes, I believe in it. Do you believe the next generation should have this knowledge? They said, yes, unequivocally. Then you're qualified to teach, is what he'd say.
Mm,
So qualification to teach does not stem from I have this much knowledge, I've studied this my temperament, nothing at all. If you believe in this vision that the next generation should have this knowledge, you are ready to teach at that
mhm,
point because you will be forced to study, forced to improve how you teach because that inspiration, that seed has already been there. One
mm.
part of it. Now, if we had to sum it up into what should our culture be for teachers at CMDFW, two phrases here. One vision, our mission.
Oof.
Every word of that matters. One vision, our mission. Why? One vision. That vision of spreading the Sanatana Dharma to that next generation, that is the very point of Balvihar. That was Gurudev's overarching vision here. One vision that we all subscribe to, we all buy into. That means buying into what the syllabus is. That means buying into special topics and different things we introduce for these children.
Mm.
Buy in there. Our mission. This is not looking at it as just Gurudev's mission or some leadership's mission, Hariji's mission. That's not what this is. Our mission. We all benefit from it. We all give back to it. We all have a right to shape it in the best way we can according to that one vision. So, one vision, our mission. If we have that feeling, that idea that I'm not going somewhere to teach, but this is my home I'm going to on a weekly basis to teach my own people, then we will do anything to succeed there. So
Yeah.
that's a
Can we get t-shirts
cultural
made?
shift. Merch, man. Let's do
I
hats,
I
headbands,
want no,
t-shirts.
that's I when you said that, that is so it hits the nail on the head perfectly, right? That and if we can keep that in the forefront of our teaching as teachers, like in the forefront of when we are every day when we walk in to teach, I think like most of the I don't want to say issues because I don't think we have issues, but most of the things that come up will be taken care of with just that mindset.
It's a mindset that if we all adopt as teachers, we'll see what kind of impact that has on the students.
Mm.
Because this kind of a cultural shift will make sure that we don't leave any student unaccounted for. We don't get burnt out during our teaching process. And this is all things we'll go through in future episodes. But if this is the culture that we instill, there is nothing that can stop our progress and our growth.
Yeah. No, I it's really cool. I love it. And I think the one thing that I was so prior to you saying that, because I think your, one vision or mission covers it. My thought process going into teaching was seva. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
And I think if you go into it with that thought process, there is no perspective in which where you would be low trust because you're already doing it for something else, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
And so, but the way that you put it, one vision, our mission, it's basically a cry. It's a lack of a better word, a battle cry for Seva, because you know we are adopting the greater good. We're adopting our works for the greater good. So I think I love it. I think we do need t-shirts made. I think that's something that I want, and I will not rest until we have it.
Let's do it. You fund it. You fund the endeavor. We'll get those t-shirts made for sure.
Okay, noted.